many of you had a plan in your life, even when you were a little bitty thing? I bet if you asked some of these girls who are here, all of them had a plan. How many of you had a plan in your life? Yeah, it's good to have plans. I had a sweet mama who took us to church and prayed with us and did devotions with us and made sure that we knew what was right and wrong and that we knew what obeying was and all of those things. And I had a plan that when I grew up, I was going to be a mama just like her. And I would take my babies and they'd gather around me just like she'd make my brother and me gather around her. And I'd read. We didn't call them devotions then. We just called them Bible stories. I'd make sure that they knew about church and that I would take them and do all those things. And then as soon as church was over, you know what my plan was? I was going to take them over to my mama's house and drop them off, and then I could go home and take a nap. Isn't that a good plan? I had it all figured out. That sweet mama that taught me how to sit at the feet of Jesus became very, very sick. And we didn't realize what was wrong with her. And so she went and found out that she had stage 4 uterine cancer. Not a good thing. His plan, he didn't decide to heal her on this earth. He decided that it was time for her to go on and be in heaven with him. That was not part of my plan at all. But you know what? Sometimes our plan and his plan might not work out on our end, but if we can just try to pray to obey so it will match up. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you and give you a future, give you hope, plans to prosper you, not to hurt you." So even though that hurt a lot when that really bad thing happened, it wasn't to hurt me. That was just part of the plan. God has an awesome way of taking the really bad thing that you didn't plan and the really good thing that you might not have had planned either, and putting those two things together and making it good. Over the past 10 years since I was Miss South Carolina, he's allowed me to share my testimony of how great he was and what a comfort he was after that mama that I loved so much and taught me so much about him wasn't there. My husband and I felt really led to record some of the music. I'd written a lot of songs, and we were recording it, and the last day before I was going to record the last song, that I'd already picked out the song, I was reading Esther, and the verse about, "Perhaps God has brought you to this royal position for such a time as this." Now, if you read the story of Esther, you know that she had an opportunity to save her people by going to the king and petitioning the king, but she didn't want to do it because she thought she may risk something, but she went anyway. If you don't do it, God will send somebody else. But he could use you. He could use you because you have the position. So that really good thing of winning Miss South Carolina, that I didn't understand why he gave me that, here we are years later, and now we have a ministry called Living Oak Ministries, and God has just opened doors right and left, and he's allowing us to just travel all over the place with the music that he's given. Maybe the things you had planned didn't work out exactly the way you thought they would. It wasn't how you had it all mapped out. But he has a plan for every one of us. And Jeremiah tells us that, to prosper us, not to hurt us. So whatever's going on in your life right now, just, you might not understand it, but just trust that God has it all taken care of. And he sees the big picture if we'll just trust him.
No, the Master's plan would bring me to this place, using all the bumps along life's road so I could see your face. Quiet my hands, quiet my soul, quiet my mind to remind me that you are in control. Allow me still in your presence until I know I'm in your will. You have brought me to this place for such a time as this.
Thank you.